Oh, hello. You don't know who I am. But today we're going to be taking a look at yet another video game that was turned into a movie. And that movie is Wing Commander. That's right, as you can see on the screen behind me. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, before we dive into this beauty, there are two disclaimers I need to let you know about if this is your first time here. Number one, I have no taste at all in movies. Anybody can tell you that. And number two, I'm going to make some remarks and some comments here about the Wing Commander movie that is probably going to make you sigh and roll your eyes. You might even groan a little bit. So, yeah. That's right, buckle in. And if you accept this mission, go ahead, strap into your Hornet, be my wingman, and let's go ahead and fly on out. Oh, I will not forget the first time I saw this back when I booted up Wing Commander, played it for the first time. I loved this little bit before every mission start. Just really got you immersed in what was going to happen. Wing Commander the Motion Picture, released in 1999 with a budget of about $30 million. And unfortunately, the box office haul, it only brought in just a little over $11 million. And then if you pay any attention to Rotten Tomatoes, this is certified at 10%. Which, I mean, doesn't mean that much to me because I watch stuff like this all the time. Well, you'll see we get a pretty good cast here. We get the dynamic duo, the great team-up of Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard. Oh my gosh. I really enjoy all the movies those guys were in. Loved their team-up. I loved I loved how they worked off of each other in each movie they were in. I'm going to say it here, and I'll say it again later on, but this is how you adapt a video game into a movie. All in all, when you get right down to it, this is just an extended Wing Commander video game without the levels. This is just all of the cutscenes of, like, say, Wing Commander 3 or 4 put together, where you're just watching it as a nice, concise movie. Of course, there are several differences between the Wing Commander universe from the games and the Wing Commander universe for the movies, but there is a lot of similarity and overlap. You get plenty of character names that you know, you get systems that you know, you get ships that you know, except for, here they call the Tiger's Claw just the Tiger Claw. And I don't remember if that ever changed in the games or not, but we all know it as the Tiger's Claw. Well, one other thing they took some liberty in is redesigning the ships. And, that's too bad. But they do retain their names, so you know what ship it is supposed to be. It's just, it doesn't look quite the same as what we know. But it still just is a fun romp of a space adventure. It's got its moments. You're here because, like me, you love video games, and you love movies, and you love it when they make... Goodness gracious. So let's take a look at Wing Commander 4 here. To see what I'm talking about, because Chris Roberts also directed the movie, he helped write the movie, and that's why it just resembles a lot of like this, Wing Commander 4, and then before this Wing Commander 3. And I mean, Wing Commander 3 and 4, how can you go wrong? You've got Luke Skywalker, you've got Biff, you've got Sala, I mean, you've got all these great actors. It's so full of just, hey, it's full of what you want from a great video game that is trying to be a movie that you get to interact and play in. Well, I know it's pretty much of a joke now, but Star Citizen does have a lot of the big names come back that he's done, that Chris Roberts has brought back for voiceover work, and of course for motion cap, and probably just to bring in their likeness to the game too. So maybe someday we'll get to see that and see what this next kind of iteration of what his vision for all these space games can be. I mean, the graphics you see here, Wing Commander 4, they're I mean, they don't pale that very much different from what you find in the actual Wing Commander movie. But like I said, I don't know, that is just pure entertainment for me, and I love it. And just the over-the-top acting and cheese, it's just great. Come on, you love it as much as I do. These games are just full of familiar faces that you can see on the full motion videos. Oh my gosh, it was so great. I mean, really, it was. It was a time. We were playing this stuff when it was coming out. It was so cool to see, to interact with, and to watch, and then to go off and fly some mission and come back to see what the next cutscene was going to be, and how the story was going to unfold. And then thinking of it that way, I mean, that's like what the Wing Commander movie is. As you're watching it, you're like, oh, I can see how that's a level, and how that was going to be a level, and how that could be a level, and hey, let's go ahead and take this now, and let's make it something else. Yeah, this is what we need some remasters of. We need a remaster of Wing Commander 1, and at least Wing Commander 2. And then for myself, I need to track down Wing Commander 3 and 4 for the PlayStation 1. Give those a try on the PlayStation, because, you know, like I said, I played them all on the PC, but now it's time to try them on the console. Now, don't go and get these two confused or conflate the two. Remember, this is only Wing Commander 4. This isn't actually Wing Commander the movie, although in some aspects, maybe it's just a little bit better. And then I failed to mention a very important part earlier on, and that was that yes, I did go to the theater to watch Wing Commander. And then I did buy it also as soon as it was released on DVD. Now, I should go look and see if there's actually a Blu-ray for it. Oof. And as you'll see, another poor casualty of the movie for Wing Commander was the Kilrathi. They really ran out of money when it came to making those guys, and they're always bathed in green light, and it looks like some crazy rubber suit, worse knockoff than like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 suits. There was also some strange added extra lore of some early spacefaring adventurers here in this game too. In this game. In the movie as well. See, I'm already thinking of it like a game just because it feels and looks just like it. You know, but this change is, you know, hey, whatever. It kind of makes sense as it's a new medium, right? You got it as a movie, so it's bringing in a new audience. So they're changing out a couple little things to make it a little different, to maybe give some more spice and interest into it, to get people hooked. But I guess it didn't work. But I know why you've joined in for this episode, and that we need to do it differently. I really enjoyed the interaction of the crew of the Tiger's Claw. Oh yeah, talking with the crew, getting some tips and tricks, seeing what's up, see what the news is, trying to advance the story a little bit. Man, good times. As you'll see in the bottom right screen there, what the enemy ship is targeted, I always really thought the damage indicator was really cool. You could really get to see, you know, what the damage was happening and where you needed to try and concentrate your fire. Yeah, it was fun. Did I forget to mention that David Warner is in this movie? Now, I need to go watch Tron again. I mean, it has been about a week.
A user even wrote you.
No one user wrote me. I'm worth millions of their man-years.
What if I can't?
You rather take your chances with me? Want me to slow down your power cycles for you?
Wait! I need that!
Then pull yourself together. Get this clown trained. I want him in the games until he dies playing. Acknowledge.
Acknowledge. Master Control.
End of line.
Another big positive that I want to give this movie is its depiction of the naval space combat. I really liked how it really felt like you were on a naval ship, pretty much a submarine. It was very industrial, very military-like. You know, it wasn't the cush luxury of Star Trek, and it wasn't the really cool, you know, aesthetic and feel of Star Wars, and it wasn't anything exotic or strange like Babylon 5. It really helped ground the movie and make you feel like, hey, this is a real thing, and this is what it would probably really be like out in a naval, in a space navy. When it came to the big fleet battles, those are done really well. Sure, the graphics weren't the best, like I said, but they were done really well and depicted really cool and a lot of fun to watch. And then, of course, there were some pretty strange concepts or morals that they had going on. But hey, you know what? This is still like 300 years in the future, so maybe it's going to change a little bit. Oh wait, not 300, like 600 years in the future. So I guess things might change. I mean, so if I can get you to watch this, I would watch it for that. I mean, those space battles, they're pretty epic. They're pretty well done. Just don't pay attention to the Kilrathi, like what you just saw. They're not good. Movies. And this week, oh my gosh. Now, if you were paying attention from earlier when we showed you Wing Commander 1 gameplay, that was from the PC. This here is gameplay from the Super Nintendo. Those of you with a keen eye will see some of the differences, and it's very impressive that they were able to bring this to the Super Nintendo and make it work, and actually, you know, function pretty well with not very much slowdown. I will recommend this for your Super Nintendo collection, as it is a worthwhile port, handled with care and really keeps the spirit of the original game, with minimal sacrifices. And, you know, after watching Wing Commander and then playing several more missions in some of the games, I should really sit down and try and figure out how to do a retrospective of the franchise. And yes, as I did say, this movie is the way to adapt a video game. Wing Commander. I mean, I'll do this at every one of these videos that I do about these movies. that are made off of video games, I'm going to tell you to go out and watch it. This, for better or for worse, is probably the best example of a video game turned into a movie. And maybe that is the detriment to it. Maybe that's why you should keep video games as video games. But I really enjoy it. And I'm hoping that you can enjoy it as well if you give it a shot. Alright, as we wrap this up, we look at the next video game turned into a movie that we will be taking a look at. And that is Dead or Alive. Good old DOA. Oh, I bet you didn't know this was made into a movie. Oof. And you know what? You get to hear all about it in the next video. And until that point comes, whenever I get to that, I just want to say thank you for watching. And as always, game on.
End of line.